Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazable coming at you with some new music reviews. And I was really surprised that this artist was making new music, and I'm sure you're just as surprised when you saw the thumbnail because Paris Hilton has just dropped a new album called Infinite Icon. That's right, you heard me correctly. The hotel heiress, the pop culture icon from back in the early 2000s, the DJ, the singer herself. She's dropping her first studio album in over 18 years. Paris Hilton, she out here doing stuff that just blowing people's mind. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense because doing some research on this, she's kind of had like a cultural like resurgence since about I think the year 2020. And so people like have been really into the whole Y2K aesthetics and clothing and culture, especially with people like under 25. And so all that early 2000s culture, pop culture, and everything is just making a hard comeback. And Paris Hilton was one of the biggest icons from back then, a fashion icon, a pop culture icon. Like I said, infant icon. She was an icon on a lot of levels. People were talking about her about many things, if you know what I mean. And so I'm not surprised that she's, as I say, striking while the iron's hot and dropping in some new music to make a couple bucks because everyone seems to be really into that Y2K stuff, and she was the queen of that. And I gotta say, this new album, very surprising for sure, is just dropping out of nowhere. I didn't know about it till a follower from my Instagram told me about it, and I gotta say, um, yeah, it's pretty bad. I hate to say that, it's pretty bad, but I can say it's a fun album to listen to in a funny way. Yeah, so I want to talk about it and give you my feelings on this and why I think it's funny and why I think it's pretty bad. The first thing I noticed about this album and can appreciate about this album is that there's a lot of variation here. She's trying to give you all types of music from different parts of the world and different parts of life. So that's a very impressive thing because like she has a song called BBA, which is like called Bad Bitch Academy, and it's more like attempting to be like a club banging song. Then she has a song ADHD, which is more of like a warm and insightful song talking about, ADHD. And then you got some just weird left field shit music like the song Without Love. Yeah, they might not be good songs, but I can give her that she's trying to put some variation on the music she's putting out on this album. So that's a little bit of a bonus, I think. I would say the first thing I noticed that was kind of like an issue was the songs feel kind of dated. Like they should have came out in the year 2016 to 2018 when like heavy like club music was just all the rage and just it was everyone was putting out hits after hits. And I think some of these songs might have fallen into that trend and probably would have done pretty well. But at this point in 2024, they just feel a little bit just stale, I feel. And one of those is the song called Chasing with I think it's the lead single to this album with Megan Trainor, which makes sense because like Megan Trainor had like had somewhat of a bigger career at that time, I think. And so her being on this song and the beats and everything, it just feels very like dated and not the best, I think. So I want to play a clip of that song for you.
Die for you. I'm saying goodbye to you. Cause I'm done chasing your love. Chasing your love. Chasing your love. I'm giving up. I'm done chasing your love.
Something about it just seems so flat and boring and just not it. Another issue I have with the songs are that they all feel really, really generic slash like they sound like pre-recorded royalty-free music. And I'm really, really kind of disappointed in that because I'm pretty sure Paris Hilton has like a vast amount of money that she can tap into in terms of artists and being creative and making some really good beats. Hell, she's a DJ herself, but all the songs just felt really, really like mid B grade, not the top tier stuff, which, I wasn't expecting top tier stuff from her, but I figured she would go all in and put some really good like producers and use some really cool like interesting ideas here. But it all feels like preset music that you just click on a keyboard. I'm like, all right, we'll just run with this and just put some vocals on top of it. And then also it didn't help that some of these songs or these beats and everything were a bit like disjointed and janky, and that's where I feel like it feels a bit like preset music slash like AI generated music. Something about the beats and the way the music is being produced just feels really, really off. And I think a good example is that on the song Infinite, I think right after the chorus and everything, it just sounds really, really um like not the best. It seems really, really generic. And maybe that's what she was going for, but I kind of feel a little disappointed that she didn't put more effort into it, it feels like. At least that's how I feel. So I want to play a clip of Infinite for you. Like, am I crazy? But it just seems so, ugh. And like, honestly, it feels like anyone could make that beat. Now, Paris herself and her vocal performance at times is not that bad, especially on the song I'm Free. But on the song that I just played, Infinite, she has a lot of autotune and distortion added to her vocals that just really kind of, I guess, distract and take away from the song and just the overall enjoyment. And I don't know, like I thought way back in the day, the Stars knows that song she had the big hit, Stars Are Blind. Maybe I didn't like it at first, but over the years I kind of listened to it, and maybe it's got some nostalgic feel to it. But her vocals sound really good with that, and it makes me want to go back and listen to her old album after checking this out because I never listened to it. So maybe there's some good hits on there that I never knew about. But her vocal performance at times is just really 50-50 at times where it's like pretty strong and like decent sounding vocals to being overproduced and sometimes just sounding really flat. So I'm very like split between the vocal performance from Paris herself. The guest features on this album, surprisingly, for the most part, I think add a lot to the songs, and they found a good way of putting them in the best part of the songs. And I think that's usually like towards the back end of the song. And when the guest vocalist comes in, they change the beat up a little bit, so it just feels like the song kind of goes from being like to like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad. So the guest feature she got on here, like Megan Thee Stallion, Megan Trainor, they all like kind of do they hold their own for this album. I gotta say, I think this album's kind of funny because some of the songs you don't take too seriously, they can be pretty hilarious. Like the song Without Love. There's this part in the song where she's doing these weird vocal like sounds like la 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 la, I guess, and it reminded me of a certain video from like a meme video from a while back about it. I think it was like a Russian guy doing some singing, and as soon as I heard this part from her song, I automatically thought of that guy, and I can't like take that thought away from this song. So every time, like, I enjoy this song more because it makes me laugh so hard, just because it sounds so cheesy. So I want to play a clip of Without Love so you can hear it, and then I'll show you what I mean by that other guy, that clip of what I heard when I heard this song. Oh, that just cracks me up every time. And so this, like, that part reminded me of this. Tell me you don't hear those two like songs overlapping because of this. It's hilarious. On the lyric content of this album, I'm not surprised that like she's talking about her influence and wanting to stay young. Stuff that is kind of like it's relatable, but also kind of like nothing too refreshing or too insightful. It feels like it's just I won't say dumb, but just it's just fun music to be fun, so you can't take it too seriously. However, like on the song ADHD, where she's talking about her condition of having ADHD, it was a nice, fresh like breath of air that she went in a little bit of a serious route, and so that song, structurally, lyrically, everything, it's really nice. So she has her moments of being serious, but I think this album is just supposed to be more about fun and not to be taken too seriously. So it's a weird balancing act between the two serious and not serious parts of this album. Paris Hilton, definitely icon for sure. I will not take that away from her. She's done a lot of things to make herself be an icon that everyone likes. She's pop culture relevant, so that's her. Musically, if you're not taking this album seriously, it's a pretty okay album. But on a serious stance, compared to like people who are really making, not say real music, but putting a lot of hard work into music and crafting some really big, beautiful pieces of art, this doesn't compare. I feel like it's very, very subpar. But like I said, if you're looking for something fun and just want to enjoy yourself and not take yourself too seriously, this is a great album for that. But on a serious level, yeah. So I would say this is a good and strong 5.5 out of 10. Yeah. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this album. Tell me what you think about Paris. And here's my other video over here. And until next time, guys. Bye.